I know I said I wouldn't do any videos pertaining to this virus thing, but this is one thing in particular that I had to mention, and I wish I kind of mentioned it in the initial video I did when I said the reason why I won't talk about that virus. But I'm kind of glad that I'm doing this in a separate video. And as you can see right here, you can see a picture of Chinatown. It's one of many Chinatowns in many metropolitan areas around the establishment. I think this one is in Philly. And as the title suggests, hold your own wontons. You already know where I'm headed with this. So over the last couple of weeks since this virus really went viral, I should say, there have been videos popping up from many Asian communities. And I say Asian communities because it's not just the Chinese communities. That's the same thing. It's probably mainly them, but I'm just going to throw them all into one pot for the sake of this video, where they are pretty much coming out crying, saying how they're losing business, they're losing money because no one wants to shop with them because of this virus. I've even seen some go as far as posting up images of someone or people coming around spray painting slurs onto their vehicles or onto the side of their buildings, trying to garner sympathy and everything like that. I said this: it's a shame that it took a virus for many people to wake up, and I'm talking about black people in particular, that they don't need to shop in a lot of these Asian-owned establishments, especially a lot of these hair stores. As we have seen how many of these Asian store owners have been attacking black women, and unfortunately some black some black women were glutton for punishment and continue to go back there. But the point still stands that a lot of them treat you like shit. I even saw a video recently where this black woman allegedly stole something or was trying to steal something out of a store, and one of the Asian workers working there had stopped her and then pushed her into one of the shelves and knocked some stuff over. That black woman got up, took off her shoes. Now, let me just tell you, whenever a black woman takes off her shoes and her earrings, that means she's about to throw down. She's about to go in. And that's what she did. She hit that woman a couple of times and then put her in a headlock, almost put her to sleep. Had that woman crying. Some of you may have seen that video. I think it ended up, I forgot where it ended up at, but I think it ended up on some news site. But anyway, we've seen so many videos over the years where a lot of these Asian store owners or Asian employees will put their hands on their customers for allegedly stealing something. And I'm saying it's just alleged because a lot of the times there's no proof that they actually tried to steal anything. And they will lock you in there until they get what they think you stole, even if they have to put hands on you. That's why I say y'all don't need to keep going up in there. That pretty much takes care of the beauty supply stores and stuff like that. Now let's focus on the carryouts. A lot of the stuff that's in there, we don't need to be consuming anyway. A lot of that stuff has a lot of MSG in it, which is not good for you, period. And then a lot of the stuff that they cook, almost everything they cook in those carryouts, they don't even eat at home. A lot of stuff that they cook in those carryouts, they don't even have in their home country. But they make it for your consumption. And notice that a lot of these carryouts are in urban areas, aka the hood, whatever you want to call it. Rarely will you ever go to a suburban area that's damn near all palm colored and find even one carryout. And you got to question yourself, why do they come to black areas to do business? One, because they know black people are going to shop with them. And two, they know they can't make their money in those suburban areas. And a lot of the times, a lot of the Asian owners who put their shops there, whether it's a beauty supply store, a carryout, or a cleaners, which is something, the three industries they have on lock. Then, I know two of them, the cleaners and the hair store, even though I've been saying that black women should have had that on lock. They won't put those in the areas where they live, and a lot of them live in those suburban areas where they can't even set up shop. So they have to come to the hood to set up shop and make their money. And then when they pack up for the day, they leave and they go live elsewhere. Just look around. You probably are living in let's just say you live in an urban area, a predominantly black area, and those are the only Asians you ever see, and you only see them there. After a while, once they close up shop, you don't see them again till the next time you go in there. That's because they don't live in proximity to you. Another thing they got on lock for some of them is convenience stores. But that video I saw where they're up there being sad that they're losing business. Oh, well. It is what it is. Because guess what? Asian businesses aren't the only ones losing businesses. The only reason why they're highlighting them is because where that virus came from. So a lot of people are not going to want to do business with them to protect themselves. And I can't even fault them for it. But they are not the only businesses that's losing industry right now, losing money. A lot of people aren't going anywhere. People aren't, like, if you look at the stuff that's being shut down right now, or things that are operating in limited supply, it's not just them, but they're focusing and trying to make it just about them. Then I was looking through Twitter, and Professor Black Truth had posted up something from this woman, some Asian representative, talking about they're about to get some multi-billion-dollar restitution or something like that to cover up the losses that they have made. And notice that I noticed in the article they mainly focused on them while trying to subliminally say that it was including all of us, when it really wasn't. Like, if you read between the lines, it wasn't only supposed to be talking about them, as if they are the only businesses that are affected. And they are truly not, especially if you are in America. Asian businesses aren't the only ones driving this economy, but they'll make it seem like they are. And then they'll try to make it seem like it's our fault because we don't want to go up in there, because a lot of the times we are helping to drive their industry. I got a suggestion for them, and I'm going to end the video on this note. How about the Asians reach out to all of the Asian Americans, or the ones who are not even here legally, because some of them are here illegally. Don't think that just because their names are Ming Lee and Mulan that they cannot be illegal immigrants. Don't think that the only illegal immigrants here names are Guadalupe and Jose. Why don't they reach out to all those Asians that came out and rallied behind Peter Liang after he murdered Akai Gurley? That's plenty of Asians right there that could support their businesses. I've never seen so many Asians in my life until that incident. I will never forget that imagery right there. That was the day that made me look at many Asians with a side eye. Y'all came out in droves to rally behind this murderer who almost got sent to jail, but because that buck dancing, now deceased attorney, or whoever he was, who was trying to get reelected, and that never happened because he died before he could even have a chance to, and oh well to that too, because he overturned it right at the last minute. That's when I knew that they were not to be trusted. They all came and rallied behind this murderous ass cop who killed this black man, an innocent black man, in cold blood. And they expect us to feel bad. I don't. And they will want us to forget that. I will never forget that. If you was around during that time, you won't forget it either. As a matter of fact, you can probably go online and find the images of that. They came out in droves. Like I said, I never seen that many Asians before. You would never, as many Asians as I saw when that happened, you would think that their population in America was way higher than what it is on that census. I swear, I think that might have been almost every Asian in America. And then after that, they just dispersed and scattered like roaches when the lights come on, and you never saw them again. And they'll probably pop back up again if something else happens and they need to rally again. But right now, they are the focal point. See, this is the first time that I think in America's history, well, for me, as long as I've been alive, where the Asian community in America, or global wise, has been the target of something catastrophic. Because a lot of times they were always left to their own devices, or whatever was going on in those countries, that was their thing. Never really was it focused on them on a global scale, where they are getting it from every angle, or people are trying to stay away from them for their own safety because they don't know how this virus thing works just yet. A lot of people are still in panic mode. But don't look to us for help. We've been, like I said, driving your economy consciously and unconsciously for decades. So go find someone else to go and help fund your whatever. Or like Professor Black Truth said in his tweet, take out a business loan like everybody else. Because when they are begging, because that's what they're doing. When they're begging for this money, that's what they look like they're panhandling. You know, the same thing that they tell us not to do, they're doing it right now. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Twitter if you haven't done so already. Have your notifications turned on, and I'll talk to you in the next one.